My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop, and I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.
Welcome, everyone, to the 514 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. The records are now open. Give it up for my client and dear friend, Nancy Smith, who had another profound, miraculous breakthrough with the Akashic Records this week, celebrating how the Akashic Records help us to create miracles in our life. This is fun stuff, y'all. All right, so here's the deal. Welcome to the show. We're going to jam for the next half hour or so in the space of the Akashic Records. I am going to take questions from the audience. So you can go ahead and start lighting up my chat box with questions. And I will channel for you all from the space of the Akashic Records. And in addition to bringing in insight and channeling, I'll also bring through an activation that helps us to embody the shifts. These are actual activations within our DNA, which you are getting activated right now as you are here in this sacred space, the sacred space of the Akash. Okay. In 2015, I activated an aspect of my DNA that allowed me to go from confusion to clarity, from feeling disconnected to life and myself to feeling inspired. I went from absolute overwhelm, getting my energy drained, to inspired motion, allowed me to 5 times my income. Y'all, this is amazing technology, and you come wired with it. What's up, Mary Heathman? Hello. I'm so happy that you are here. Guys, say hello to me once you get here. Help me blow up the algorithms, because truly, the more of us that tap into higher mind, okay, this space of higher consciousness, of God consciousness, Christed consciousness, access to soul wisdom through your Akashic Records. All of the planet needs this, and we're all wired for this. All right. So help me blow up the algorithms by commenting, saying hello. Also, as you share where you're tuning in from, I want you to begin to create a visual in your mind. This will not only activate your clairvoyance or your ability to see beyond what is readily visible, you will see what is unseen. You're using your mind's eye. Okay. It also creates a connection between all of us that allows the intelligence, the activations, the insight to really flow. All right, Cheryl, I see you. Sebastian, Nancy Ray, Sandra, TCB. I'm so happy that you're all here joining me. I get such a lift out of today's show. Not only on Wednesdays do I feel the expansion, the questions that you guys ask, it also helps me to get a pulse on the intelligence that's available for us from the Akash, how we need to be working with it. And it helps me tremendously through the rest of my week. We got Arkansas and Chicago in the house. Ooh, we got Sexy Glamista from Chicago in the house. What's up? I like some sexy glam in my life. Again, I'm Emily Harrison, founder, director here inside the Akashic Academy. I'm coming to you live from the High Sierras in Reno, Nevada. And like I said, we're going to jam for the next half hour or so in the space of the Akashic Records. If you're not familiar, don't worry. I'm going to give you some context so you understand this powerful realm that we're working with here. But first of all, let's talk about why you want to tap into your Akashic Records. All right, I've got some sacred notes here that I've channeled in before the show. And here are the reasons why humanity needs the Akashic Records right now more than ever. We're undergoing a collective... Actually, before I point out what is obvious, let me point out what might be not so obvious. There is a powerful energy of inspiration, of ideas, of creativity flowing into the planet right now. I've noticed in myself, in friends, in clients, in colleagues, that there's an aliveness in the field. You might be getting a lot of ideas, a lot of creative ideas flowing in right now. Here's the cool thing. We live on what's known as a living library planet. Planet Earth is a very special planet where the Akashic Records, or the realm of consciousness that holds all information, past, present, all possible futures, recorded from a neutral perspective, this etheric library or God mind, okay? God mind, the Akashic Records, superconscious intelligence, is actually available through every cell of consciousness on this planet. Living library. Very, very cool. Right. And we're being bombarded by photons of light right now, which are activating these codes of remembrance. And I want to talk about that for just a second. These codes of remembrance. Okay. The Akashic Records, you're part of this planet. So every cell of consciousness within you is also connected to this library. That's what I turned on in 2015 is my access to this library. You come wired with this intelligence as well. And what I do, this is where I come in. I can come in and make a few tweaks to your sacred technology so that you can remember knowledge that's already within you. All right. Here's why you need that right now. Now I'll give you the goods as to why you need it. One, we're undergoing a collective identity crisis. Okay. Systems, structures that we've relied on in our society and our lives are breaking down, from education, money, government, relationships, you name it. It's all shifting and changing right now. Give me an amen if you're noticing some shift and change in your life. Okay. Even gurus and self-help paradigms are breaking down and shifting. All right. What we're being asked for right now is to wake up soul level guidance within each one of us. Okay. Self-leadership. The second reason that humanity needs this right now. Whew. Speaking of technology, my technology is undergoing some upgrade. I am releasing a virus in my system right now. I got a little sniffles and nose run and sore throat, and it's moving pretty quickly, though. It's in the sinuses now. I'm taking 11 lights y'all have around that. Thank you. Thank you for sending it. Love and light and healing into this space. All right. So the second reason humanity needs the Akashic Records right now, you might notice this within yourself. Hi, Terry Todd. That we're stuck in karmic loops. Okay. The same things we're repeating over and over. And these karmic loops that we're in right now, they block ascension. They block our evolutionary experience. So we want to clear these, right? This is what our soul came here to learn. The Akashic Records helps us figure out the hidden patterns of why we continue to create the same karmic loops. And once your soul understands the hidden pattern, and you can choose differently, then you get to move on. Okay? Give me an emoji in the comments if there are some cycles in your life that you want to move on from. Hello. I'll find some emojis to put in those comments. All right. Third reason. I got notes written everywhere here, y'all. Third reason that humanity needs the Akashic Records right now is because the age of external, I poked myself in the eye. When I put my glasses on last time, I got them a little close to my fake eyelashes, poked myself right in the eye. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm just the messenger. All right. The age of external authority is ending. This is why we need the Akashic Records. We are moving from top-down leadership. Listen to this. This is a writer downer if you're taking notes, which is not a bad idea when you come into this space. Okay, we're moving from top-down leadership to soul-led leadership. All right. This does not mean that you get to do whatever you want like an entitled teenager. I have a few of those myself. It means that we've got to use this technology, this soul-led leadership, this intelligence within, to heal ourselves of trauma and to activate our creative genius so that we can come together and collaborate here on the planet. All right. I shared with you all, for me, before I found the Akashic Records, I was highly dissatisfied with life. I also didn't know what to do about that. Okay. I did not have clarity about next steps. I was in confusion, dissatisfaction and confusion. Maybe you can relate. All right. I felt super disconnected from myself and my family. That is doo-doo. I also, as a result of that, the depression, I took pharmaceutical medication for the depression, which had very bad side effects. Did not like it at all. Have not taken those for over a decade. All right. And like very overwhelmed with day-to-day life. The overwhelm is such a drain of energy. Guys, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I want to help you with that today. Because as you begin to release overwhelm, what you do is you harness more of your energy and you will move from being drained and stuck in inaction, because overwhelm can actually paralyze us. We'll move into stagnation. That's what happened to me. But once I got those holes plugged, the energetic leaks plugged, then I was able to move into empowered action. So that's what I am super excited and passionate and I'm excited to serve you all with here today. I'm going to tap into the Akashic Records, like I said. Important for you to know that you can do this too. You're already in the space of the Akashic Records. I'm going to show you more at the end of our time here together, the specifics on how you can tap in. But just for right now, here's what you need to know. All right. You come wired with this technology. You use your heart mind. It's not your monkey mind. Your monkey mind still plays a bit of a part in it. I'll explain that in a moment. But right now, just start tapping on your heart. This will engage your heart mind, activate your heart mind. It's the heart mind that we want to interpret the insights that we're getting. Okay, good job. Now let's talk about monkey mind. Monkey mind, this is where we're going to use our intuition. We're going to use a different part of our mind. So we're shutting down the logical part of our mind and we're activating the intuitive part of it. No, not the illogical part of our mind, whichever one of y'all thought that. I heard it though. I hear your thoughts up here, you know. We're not activating the illogical mind. We're activating the intuitive mind. And the intuitive mind has the ability to know things instantly. So you're going to notice thoughts, perceptions, impressions coming into your mind. All right. Like I said, really important to recognize how your technology is working. Let's dive into some questions. All right, TCB. My son's agriculture teacher gave him a 0 on his presentation because he volunteered to go first and actually said the presentate instead of present. And she gave him a 0 because of the mistake. Oh, dang. Well, first of all, TCB, I thought I made up the word presentate. Apparently your son made it up as well, accidentally. That's hilarious. I actually said that word live one time on a show, and I keep a log of the ridiculous things that I say, the made up words that I say live, because it just happens sometimes, y'all. You just making it up as you go. Sometimes, sometimes my technology, my mouth is trying to catch up with what my brain is picking up that I want to share. And I just make shit up. I just make up words. And they're so funny. I keep track of them on my phone. So that's the first thing that I'll invite you to do is flip the script. Okay. And what the guides are saying is you get to help your son create the story around this about how he experiences getting a 0. I think it's actually a really great opportunity, a great low stakes opportunity to let kids know that they can exist outside the box and you're still going to love them. I mean, I don't know what your specific parenting attachments and thoughts are around the school, the education that your kids are receiving. I personally think that my children's education kind of sucks. I'll be honest, I feel like the education system is broken, and like I don't get all caught up, definitely not in like they need to bring home A's to please me, although they are pretty much A students. And if they apply themselves, they can definitely get A's. All right, but this school's just training them to think inside of the box anyway. And so here's how the guides are sharing with me, with you, with me. Basically, if this were happening to me, how I would approach it. Okay, so I'm going to explain that intelligence like that, TCB. Okay, and for anybody who's just joining us, this is what we are discussing. All right, so the guides say that you have the ability to guide his experience on how he perceives this. And that's a really important part of the lesson is giving our children back their power when they feel powerless, when they feel victimized. Okay, so how I would do that is be like, hey, well, your teacher, I don't agree with her. First of all, yeah, validate validate the feelings. Man, that sucks. I would be very embarrassed if that happened to me. I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, honor that. And then also honor the teacher's free will. I don't agree with the teacher, but the teacher and if we say but, it actually, from a frequency standpoint, negates what we said before. So we want to try to use and. I don't agree with your teacher, and your teacher has free will in her classroom, and that's okay. And it's also okay with me that you get a 0. And then I would work on flipping the script. Like I said, the word presentate is pretty darn funny. Yeah, feel free to share that I've spoken on stage at Harvard University. I've been featured on New York Times, NASDAQ billboards, honored by Entrepreneur Magazine for being an amazing entrepreneur, and I freaking make up words all the time. So inviting your child, just to embrace their uniqueness. And then an opportunity to, like, honestly, the guides aren't even encouraging any kind of addressing of the teacher's wrong here, which, again, personally, I think that teacher needs at least an email. All right, but so the email or the idea that's coming through from the Akash, from the records, is, hey, Mrs. Smith, hey, Mrs. Jones, I heard about what happened in class, and my child did a lot of work to prepare. And is there any way that this that there could be extra credit, or the decision could be remade? It could be remade. That sounds stupid. Basically, you ask for some kind of leniency, or what can we do? Basically, what can we do from our standpoint to give it another try? Okay, be willing to be resilient. Be resilient and be vulnerable. Man, it really bummed him out. Okay. I have teachers. Well, these are stories that come through my teenage daughter. So, the reason I make all that face is because if you have teenage daughters in your life, or you have been one before and you can remember being one, I've been one before too. We have unique perspectives on life, and so we tell our stories through those unique perspectives. Can I get an amen? And so my daughter relays through her unique perspective how she feels teachers treat her sometimes, and how, like, she goes into a state of, like, almost shock and embarrassment and holding in emotion. And I think, and sometimes I say to her too, although I recognize it can be very shameful to cry in public, especially if you're in high school. Although, man, I just let it rip at this point. My tears flow very prevalently. My emotions are readily available. But I just say, show your vulnerability, because I would think that if a teacher were able to see that cause and effect as it happened, like isolated in that moment, they would naturally shift and change. That's my thought. All right. So bringing in course correction, compassionate course correction, and self-leadership, like holding space. The teacher in this sees their own error or their own lack of compassion, and can course correct. And let's hold space for that. Let's hold space for all of us within ourselves, where we get to do this challenging work of course correction. Okay, course correction can also look like flipping the script. So this course correction activation, is a good one. It's not only going to help you, it's going to help you in so many ways. All right. Here's the deal. If you're here on planet Earth right now, you are operating at a level of mastery, soul mastery. This is not like a 101 school for your soul. Okay, you're operating at mastery. Think about a race car driver who's driving at a level of mastery very fast. Their course correction is super important, and they make tiny little micro adjustments the moment they feel off within not only the car, but their mind, their intuition, their bodies. Okay. Great analogy for how we are in motion right now and how we need to be tuned in and how we need to course correct. But this activation that we just did, say yes if you are receiving this, by the way, straight into the heart chakra, activating the heart mind. The heart mind is what's going to allow us to get the signals through to the nervous system, to the monkey mind. Hey, I need to course correct here. Okay. Course correct can also look like, again, your ability to flip the script. Anything that is megally challenging you in your life right now, flip the script, see if you can see the benefit in it. This is a Jedi skill that will help you in a million ways in your life. So it was about course correction, flipping the script. It seemed like there was one more real life activation or real life connecting of the dots of how this helps us in real life that the guides were bringing through. I don't know if I can grab it. If I can't grab it, it doesn't even matter because you're getting it anyway and you'll figure it out as the week goes on. All right, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. If you received that powerful activation, don't put the glasses on so close to your face, Emily. So you whack yourself in your own eyelashes. Yeah, grammar mistake. Okay, let's see. Sky Key Moonbeams beaming in from the Northeast USA. Is there any intel on Jack and Jill Sullivan? That's an interesting one. I don't know if the guys are going to bring in anything. Let me see if there's anything that I can tap in on. Okay. I got a lot of energy vibrating down my right side here. Okay. So that is right is our masculine energy. I'm feeling like unsure whereabouts. Like, are these people missing right now? Okay, so here's the thing about the Akashic Records, guys, and specific questions like this. So the Akashic Records work. We have to have I have to have permission from Jack and Jill Sullivan to access their personal Akashic Records. Okay. So when you guys are coming on and you're asking me questions here, you are giving me permission to tap into your Akashic Records. So without their specific permission, I can't tap into their records specifically. Although for family and friends, there are caveats and ways that we can dance around this rule of the Akashic Records that respect everybody's privacy. Okay. And that is we can ask what we can do to best support an individual at this point in time. All right, so that's something that the guides actually just want me to dive into, but it's sort of the wrong analogy because I'm pulling back from the specifics of Sky's question here and going more general how each of you who there's someone in your life right now that you want to know how you can help. Okay, so we don't have permission to tune into their records specifically, but you being soul connected to them, you can definitely ask, how can I best help and support fill in the blank right now? And I want everybody to practice this, everybody who's here. Okay. How can I best support blank right now? Awesome, Miss Mary Heathman. Yes. My mom is facing her fears and going through some treatment for her depression. Awesome. Yay, mom. She is resistant to share that she is getting treatment with her friends. How can I help her through this? First of all, definitely honoring. Yep, we definitely have resistance around this because when we share things like this, it can cause us to go into shame. All right. Excuse me. Shame is the lowest vibrational frequency that we can feel on the scale. Now it was Abraham Hicks. Yes, thank you. Angels. Abraham Hicks, who created this a scale of emotions and ranked their consciousness, their vibrational frequency of consciousness. So from the highest levels of joy and inspiration all the way down to the lowest ones that are shame. Okay. So I think that this is a really, like the guides are saying, this is a really helpful tool. And Miss Mary, the guides are saying, break it down for her as more of like a I don't know. It's like be the teacher, be the teacher, be the teacher. And this idea of being a teacher is either she was a teacher, your teacher. This energy of teacher is very, very much in the soul energy, in the soul vibration, in the field. Okay, so create a teaching around it. So first of all, yes, that's normal to feel that way. Actually, here are all of the emotions that a human can feel. And based on what emotion we're feeling, that's the vibrational frequency that we're emitting. And when we're in those lower vibrational frequencies, like shame, apathy, depression, frustration, anger, fear, what happens is we become very susceptible to distortion at that point in time. So we see what isn't really there. We think it's there. And what those kind of things are: separation that causes us to feel less than. We see just basically through a negative lens. We become very pessimistic. I have an interruption in my room right now. London the Road. I'm gonna make you come on camera live. All right. Bear with me here while I make sure I keep my concentration. Seriously, kid. Okay. All right. Creating the teaching structure for mom, okay? Or for anybody who's going through this. Honoring where humans are feeling and that they rank somewhere on this list. Wherever you rank on this list is going to determine like the strength of your vibrational frequency. And if it's low, you're going to start seeing through negativity, being very pessimistic, draining your energy, moving into overwhelm. All right. So what we want to do is we want to work on just getting one higher every time we check in. You don't have to get one higher and climb the whole ladder like every time you check in with the resource. Okay. Again, this is a resource from Abraham Hicks. You guys can Google it. It's like an emotion. It's a scale of emotions that we feel. Okay. And then the next piece that's coming in is I heard, and I shared this with a couple of my students over the course of the last week. This was shared with me from my kid. Is it Jordan Maxwell? 5 things that he does every day. Might be Jordan Maxwell, might not be. I'll come back and I'll include this link for you guys after the show. Okay. Talking about the 5 things that he does every day that make him as powerful of a leader, of an innovator, of an action taker that he is. Okay. And they're not the 5 things. Like Jack and I tried to get the 5 things playing back and forth between us. And we were saying things like exercise, eating right, like all of the things that help what we felt like put us in our highest potential as humans. However, the things that Jordan Maxwell was doing every day had to do with growing himself and growing his own consciousness, his energy in essence. And in order to grow your consciousness and your energy, you've got to participate in activities like sharing. So sharing, Miss Mary Heathman, encouraging your mom to share because it's going to help grow this energy within her. And she can share with you. Have her share with you. Practice sharing things with you at first. Maybe things that some of her ahas, her insights that are coming from her sessions. Okay. Also, Miss Mary, what's coming in for you, since you are a student of the Akashic Records, and there is training inside, or modules inside of the training that teach you how to heal others. you will either are ready for this or, well, you're definitely ready for this because it's coming up in your field, right? But we can help people go back and remember a time. You can just like get her into a state of relaxation. And you can even open her records for her and have her remember a time when she shared and it didn't go well. And you hold light, just white light on that time, and it heals it, it shifts it. Okay. And if it brings up uncomfortability in her nervous system, that's when you breathe. You tell your nervous system to reset and recalibrate. Then once you move through it, you've got to install the new program. So that's basically how we uninstall programs. That's how you can uninstall programs with the Akashic Records. Okay. And when you go into the state of the Akashic Records, you have access to all of your timelines forward and backward through time. So you heal things forward and backward through time. Very powerful place to do the work. Okay. Once you uninstall the old program that says it's uncomfortable to share, then we install a new program, which is, hey, imagine what it feels like to share and to be comfortable. And if your mom doesn't feel comfortable for a bit, just okay. So imagine that you are comfortable and breathe until you are. Maybe put your hands on your body till you are. Or your guides will talk you through it, Miss Mary Heathman. All right. So let's activate the inner healer within all of us and the inner healer that can guide others as well. If you want to receive this activation of your inner healer, you can type yes in the comments and receive this activation through your third eye. And the first aspect of this is that you've got to learn to see yourself in a new identity, seeing ourselves as the healer. Okay. And caveat, we don't actually heal anybody else. We just lead them to their own healing. And this is how we do it. Okay. We help them to have an experience within their own quantum field. Make sense? How to have a healing experience. How to have your own healing experience. Cool stuff. All right. So, put a emoji in the comments if you just received the inner healer activation. All right, 12:32. Yes. I'm a little bit over. I said we're going to jam and play for about 30 minutes. All right, I'm going to do one more question here. I want to check out Abby's question here. And then I'm going to share with you guys. Then we're going to do the work part where I'm going to share with you how you can turn on these skills too. Okay. All right, Miss Abby, I quit my miserable job 6 months ago to pursue my dreams. Yay. But so far making zero, boo, which I cannot sustain for much longer. Not sure if I should keep going or is it time to get another soul sucking job? Well, here's the thing is just, let's like air it out a little bit. This happens a lot. Okay. After I left Hollywood and started my business, the Akashic Academy, there was a point in time in there where I had to go back to waiting tables. Let's see, that would have been about 2016. Yeah, I couldn't sustain it either. And so I had to piece things together. Although I feel you. Like if that is something that is open to you or available to you for an immediate lift and relief of pressure, it is very important that we as light workers are intermingling with as many people as possible right now. And the challenge with having your own business, sometimes this is happening to me right now too, and to one of my coaches in the academy, she does coaching for me, is that we're being told that we need to intermingle. Like we get too isolated at home, working at home, and we need to intermingle. So that could be some of what's going on. Also, releasing the pressure on yourself. It feels like, Abby, there's still some more, there's imposter syndrome coming up for you. And so what you're doing is you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that you were afraid you wouldn't be able to do this. You were afraid, like this is your worst fear that would happen, right? So how can you flip the script into, actually, this is the best thing that can happen to me. It's just part of my journey along the way. And the outcome is still uncertain. The guides are not by any means saying that you have to go back and get another soul-sucking job. All right, but you do need to work on the imposter syndrome that's coming up. And I had that come up for me this week too. Y'all, I had a memory, a flashback that I had buried very deeply. I have a feeling that Pluto retrograding Aquarius, flying up the ass of Aquarius right now. When Pluto goes retrograde, like deep memories start surfacing and we have this chance to heal them, right? So I had a memory come up of being in a senior in high school, speech and drama class. We were doing speeches and we got to the demonstration speech and it was my day to go and I didn't plan anything. And I had heard of this concept called yoga, but this was, okay, I'm 47 years old. So do the math. If I was a senior 40 years ago in small town Missouri, we didn't really know what yoga was. I'd heard of the concept. I did not know what it was. What I did know, y'all, was that nobody else inside of that speech and drama room that morning knew what yoga was either. So I could make it up as I went along. And I did. And I got an A. And that came up in my memory. And I'm like, oh, dang. Let's heal that, right? Because you can see how that creates imposter syndrome in me. Like, keep my ass aligned to some integrity of what I'm sharing in here, y'all. Okay. All right. So Abby, that's what the imposter syndrome looked like for me. Get really clear on what your goals are, Abby, and ask Chat GPT. Okay, so for anybody out there who has their own business, you should be asking Chat GPT, get whatever version of it that you like, be communicating with it. So when you start a prompt based on everything you know about me, what's the best business plan that will help me make $20,000 a month working 20 to 30 hours a week using these assets that you've built? Give it as much context as you can about what you want to experience. Okay. Then also ask it how to rewire your mind and nervous system for success, Abby. And then also ask it if you were to self-sabotage this plan, what would that look like? Okay. Good stuff. Those are some of my favorite AI prompts. Give some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you learned something today, either from the AI prompts or from some of the insight that came in from the rest of the show. All right. So I said that I would share with you all how you can plug into this consciousness as well, how you can turn on your DNA. All right. So I got two choices for you. You can either take a deep dive if you're ready, and I'll show you how you can train in your Akashic Records as well so that you can get instant access to wisdom, guidance, clarity, understand how to reverse engineer the timelines where you can quintuple your income as well. I'm going to show you that. That's going to be one option. The other option is y'all scared. You think you can't do it yet. You can dip your toe in. For you toe dippers, I got something for you too. Okay. So I can't remember. Let's see if I can share my screen. Oh, is it going to work? Bam. Okay. Here is, let me scroll back to the top. For those of y'all who want to just know how much it is, this is how much it is. It is a certification program. Let's start at the top though. This is designed to help you personally heal yourself of emotional, physical disease, identify and clear oppressive belief systems, experience deep and transformative self-love. This is where miracle consciousness opens up, you guys. You'll get to clear ancestral energy patterns no longer serving you, understand your life mission, open up access to your highest potential, access your quantum healing abilities like Miss Mary Heathman, and unlock new energetic skills. You can learn to read the records even if you don't have any previous experience meditating. if you've never had a psychic experience or don't feel psychic, if your mind is full of chatter, if you don't consider yourself creative, you don't have an advanced education, even if you are skeptical. Okay. I'm not going to go over all of these modules. I do want you to recognize 17 modules. It's going to take you 3.5 months to go through this powerful transformation where you not only learn how to read the Akashic Records. I'm going to point this out. Module 3. Each module is about half an hour. Okay. 90 minutes in, you will learn how to open and read your own Akashic Records. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit here. Look at modules 9, 10, 11, right here. This is just worth the price of admission, if you ask me. You're going to read about your own Akashic Records, how you are currently wired to think about jobs, which affects the kind of jobs that you get, that you have. You're going to learn how you are wired about money, which affects how much you have. You're going to learn how you are wired about your health. Okay. Furthermore, you are going to have the opportunity to rewrite your own Akashic Records in all of these areas. It's freaking phenomenal. Okay. Happy clients, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. This is the, like I said, price of admission paid in full is $1,497. That's a one-time payment. This includes the certification. There is no extra investment for certification. Or if payment plan is more reachable for you, you can pay $444 now and get started today. Okay. That's for those of you who want the deep dive. For those of you toe dippers, my toe dippers out there, for those of you who think, ooh, I don't know if I'm quite ready to dive in and read the Akashic Records yet, I have something for you that's going to help prepare you. Okay. Free gift. This is intuitive development training. Let me share my screen here and show you this. I'm going to put the link to both of these in the comments and in the description on this show. Okay, intuitive development. Nope. Okay, I'm just going to tell you about that one because I don't have it pulled up. All right. Screen sharing, cancel. Okay. Here's how we actually, quote, read the Akashic Records. Okay, it's not like opening a book and reading a book. You are going to be using, like I said, it's a part of your monkey mind. Your monkey mind comes with your logical mind and your intuitive mind. Okay, we're going to be using the intuitive mind, the part of your mind that gets impressions. Okay, you come wired inside of your pineal gland, your third eye, right here, with inner senses, inner vision. It's called clairvoyance. It's when you see a picture in your mind. Clairsentience, that's when you feel energy in your body or you feel emotions. Okay. Clairaudience, that's when you hear with your inner ears. And claircognizance, all of a sudden you just know, you have a download. You come wired with this technology, and this is the form of communication that we use in the Akashic Records. So if you don't feel like your intuition is very strong, I'm going to leave you a resource that will help you exercise your intuition in 15 seconds a day. Okay? I know that your time is very valuable. It is worth your 15 seconds a day of exercising these muscles so that you can begin to use your intuition as a reliable source of intelligence. You're going to get more of the wisdom of the Akashic Library, the messages that are available all around us. Your own internal navigation system is going to get stronger. Okay, so I am going to leave. I'm going to come back and leave those for you because I don't have them readily. I don't have them available to pull up really quickly. All right, so you're going to have to come back for the links. There's one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys before we wrap up. I think it's in my notes here. Oh, yes, I remember. That is, you're joining us on YouTube right now, or perhaps YouTube streamed through your favorite social media channel. I want to encourage you to come back to your favorite social media channel during the week, as I am going to be making a weekly synchronized breathing video where you can tune in, tap into some Akashic synchronized breathing, and get further Akashic activations, increase your bandwidth to turn on your DNA and to begin to hold the frequency of more joy. Okay, the more joy you have, Right now, think of joy as like an antidote, as a protection mechanism from fear mindset. The more joy you allow yourself to feel, the more protection you have from the Maya, the illusion out there. All right. So be sure to come back and join me all week for synchronized breathing. Thank you guys for being here. I love you. And I'll see you back here next week.